What's going on, everybody? Just a quick intro. This is for a pop bottle, 2-liter pop bottle filter for your tank, or I use it for a 33-gallon garbage can. But I used my dash cam because I broke my other camera in the beginning of it. But all the way towards the end, you jump through and I'll finish up, and it shows completely the working and the clarity of the water and everything. All right, enjoy the video. Thanks. Bye.
2323 here. That right there is almost dry. It's almost ready to go. But as I was doing here, working on like a gazillion projects at once, projects down here, and working on that right there, I had to fix up the eyeball because I spilled some black paint on the eyeball. Let's see right here. I told you I was going to go ahead and put my marble crayfish and my guppies in here. So that's what it's filled up to, about maybe right here. And there's a lot of crap floating around on top, so I got to get a filter together with it. I'm actually going to make a filter out of a regular pop bottle. All I'm going to do is put some filter media in here, put an air stone, drill a hole through the top, put an air stone all the way through the bottom, and throw it in there and let the bubbles filter it out. I got some extra carbon laying around here, so I'll put some carbon and some bubble scrubbers, some little plastic scrubbers in there, and throw it right in there, and it's going to start working actually to keep that thing clean and keep those alive. I'm going to take one of the bubble filters out of here. Now this has been going for about an hour, and you can see just by cleaning up the pads in there, I mean, it really did clear up a lot. It cleared up a lot where you can see all the things in the back there. So I just cleaned out the scrubbers and it really did work. But let me go ahead with the project. I'm going to go ahead and make a filter out of this right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this big PVC filter back on it. Here's find out, this is the air hose that I took off of the other side way down there. I'm going to buy another air hose actually, to tell you the truth. But for right now, I got to find out what air hose this is going to fit on. So you want this to fit snug going when you drill it, because you don't want to have to worry about sliding up and down. So I'm going to use this air hose right here, this not air hose, this one right here, because you want to drill through the cap and you want it to be snug where it don't go up and down. So let's see what happens. Alright, I actually used 1564 drill bit to get through that. It is a little bit loose, so I probably will put some Teflon tape, just I don't want it sliding up and down once it's at the bottom of the bottle right there. Now the next step right here is got to drill a bunch of holes around the bottom of this, but tiny holes so the filter media don't come out of this. Also, not only on the bottom of this, you're going to have to drill holes around the top of this so the bubbles could come out through the bottom of this and come out the top of this. You could probably do one hole on the bottom, but I'm going to do a bunch of holes on the top, a bunch of little holes so it can aerate it. I'm using 5/64, a really tiny bit, and when there's a line right here, I'm going to drill all the way around the line right here, and then I'm going to drill all around the top right here. All the way around the bottom. See, I made double lines all the way across the bottom, and then you can't really tell, you're going to think they're, I put a gazillion across the top right here. Now I'm going to put the air stone all the way to the bottom of this first, and then I'm going to fill it with the media, so when the bubbles come up, the bubbles are, actually the air stone probably should be higher than this right here. So when the bubbles come up, they bring all the water up with it, and then they come out the top. So you keep the dirty water going in the bottom, bottom filters it out and pushes it out the top. Stone above those lines right there, and then I'm going to take the cap off and put Teflon tape to get this to, when you pull it back out, the Teflon tape will hold it there, because you want the water to push the bubbles all the way up through the bottle. You don't want it to sit at the top. You want it to pull, because when it pulls the bubbles up, that's when it's pulling the water up. Right there, then you pull the cap down to it, and it'll hold into place right there. So this right here with the air bubbles is going to want to naturally come up. It won't naturally come up now because once it's screwed on there, it'll keep the air thing in the bottom. I know not everybody has this laying around, but I normally have some laying around. Activated carbon for crystal clear water. This is in there, and I got a funnel at the top. I'm going to pour the activated carbon in through the funnel and put it all around as much as it's going right there, and then I'll see what else I can squeeze into the top right there. That's all the activated carbon that I had left over in there, and that's why you want tiny holes so it don't fall back out of there. Now the rest right there, I'm going to think what I can put in there. So you can actually put just gravel from the bottom of the tank. You can put just gravel in here, and the gravel will actually create a biological filter also. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to put in here next. So far what I found is an old dish sponge that was in the basement here. Another sponge right here, great for biological material. I'm going to cut this up, shove this into the top, probably just twist this up and put this in the top also. There's the sponge all cut up. I'm going to shove it in through the top lid right here. There's the sponge all cut up. I'm going to shove it in through the top lid right here. Alright, there's the sponge all the way in there. I'm going to cap this up and shake this to see if I get any of this carbon on top of the sponges. Okay, yes, a lot of the carbon moved up. It's higher at a higher level now. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more stuff in there, and then I'm going to put it in the water, let it fill it with water, and put the bubbler on. See? It's all the way to the bottom. The air stone's all the way to the bottom. And this is actually going to keep this right here with the fish alive and clean. I put some rocks in it, but you see a lot of the crayfish, I got crayfish in there also. So I'm going to try to get the crayfish out of here and then just put the rocks inside there. About halfway there. Shh, don't tell my wife I took a brand new sponge. I put regular gravel in there. I put the filter media at carbon in there. I put one of these cut up in there already. And there's another sponge in there. I'm going to cut one more of these up, put it in there, and then get it running for now, because since I already threw the fish in there and everything, and I got some crayfish in there already. It's all black, so you really won't be able to tell that it's clean and it's working, but I've done this before, and really you can almost use anything as filter media. I actually had lava rock on one of my ponds out back before, and it was like crystal clear. I put the lava rock in a big tub and had that overflow into there, then it overflow into the pond, and the lava rock worked really good. So I know this is going to work, but this is like a 2-liter filter for a 33-gallon garbage can. It's just for my crayfish and for my crabs because I'm moving them out of my 55-gallon tank. Okay, there it is. Now I shook it up, made sure that I had the hose all the way almost to the bottom. You can see there's activated carbon, there's gravel in there from the other filter. Actually, to fill this up, I use water from this tank, and I use water from the 55-gallon tank. I got 2 cut of sponges in there, and then this is just going to sit right in here. You got to fill up first. Okay, it's filling up right now. And then all it's going to do is sit in there. Now I have that little backflow on there, and there's a lot of stuff in the bottom of this, so the backflow shouldn't go in there. The backflow was actually for my other tank. So what I'm going to do, see, it's all filled with water right now. If worse comes to worse, I'll put a brick on that, because I don't want that, no, probably can use more water in there. It's almost filled up, but I still feel it trying to float. And when it's completely done, it won't float anymore. It just sit all the way to the bottom. Alright, there it goes. Now I'm going to fill it up with, we'll turn the air on. The air is actually on right now, but not on that right there. Let's see if I get some air in there. Okay, there goes airflow going through there now. What I want to do is keep the air balanced between these right here, because this is my tank, and that right there. So I don't want to put too much air on there. That's going to take away from my tank right here. See the air coming up? That means that there's water coming up through there also. This is the furthest one, the longest hose, so I know my setting got to be a little bit higher. But like it says, you want to kind of even with the air bubbles in your tank. Because if it's not even with the air bubbles in your tank, that means the filter in your tank is not working. Alright, well there it is right there. I'm going to leave it. You see there's bubbles coming out the top, so that means it is working. And I'm going to leave it like this, and everything will be good as long as I don't see fish floating around in a couple of days. The water is not bad because I can see the fish way down there, and later on I'll go ahead and put a light on it. But there's my chain gang valve I have right here, and I'm using this hose because this hose was for all the way down there at the other end of the tank, right down there. So that's the hose I'm using right there. But like I said, when you adjust them, you got to make sure you're not taking away from the one upflow going in the tank, even though that's right there is just for oxygen because the damn tilapia keeps undoing the gravel because he wants to have babies. Either way, thanks for watching. That's how to make a 2-liter pop bottle biofilter for your tank, or for me for your garbage can. Now I gotta go bring all the marble crayfish out the other tank and put them down. Talk to you later. Bye.
What's going on, everybody? Trev2323 here. Just finishing up. I did my tank. I got my garbage can here with my marble crayfish and my guppies in there. It's been about 2 or 3 days now since I actually built it, and I wanted to finish up the video to show you how good the filter is working. No sediment at all floating around in here at all. You see the fish, they're all alive swimming. There's the filter right there. The pop bottle filter that I made, just bubbling right along. Wish I had more light. Let's see if I can see any crayfish. Sometimes you see crayfish sitting on top of the pipes, but they go hide in the pipes. That's why I got all that PVC pipe down there. I don't see any crayfish right now. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some more food in there in a little bit. But look at all the guppies. They're doing fine. And see how crystal clear the water is? And that right there is just with the pop bottle filter that I made. So they really do work. So either way, thanks for watching. As you see, I got my new camera, so that's why it's crystal clear now. Bye-bye.